It's true, I do.
It has begun.
Hello, and welcome to the CTB show. Today is mid-September. The weather, it is smoky out. Who would have thought? The black box from an airplane is actually orange. Welcome to the show. My name is Evan the Mayor. That is Brian the Levy.
Hey, how come they don't make the whole plane out of the orange box?
And that is Casey the Kasem. He choked.
The
We have
plane,
broken-
the plane, boss, the plane.
There you go,
There you go.
Casey.
And joining the show, once again, it's only been 3 months. That's formerly chugging a bottle of Andre. Bryan the Preston, say hello.
You know what? If they actually call it the orange box, I'd be like, why doesn't this have Team Fortress 2 on it?
Excellent reference.
Good job.
Where
what
can
I
I get
did.
a copy of that? I've sold my copy and cannot get another one.
Bryan Preston is sitting in with us today because it's fun. And
Yeah, it's a good time.
we needed a guest. We do have 2 guests actually today. We've got Bryan, but we've also got a very special therapist guest who will be tackling your life advice questions. That will be after the shout-outs section.
Which is good because I haven't seen my therapist in a couple of weeks, and I've got some things. I got some things.
We're gonna have to ask this particular therapist if they accept your flexible spending account. I don't know what Giant provides you.
A true
Nothing.
professional.
Well, it's giant, so an apple a day is the general. That's the health plan.
Top of the show plugs, guys. I have to tell you, and it's not coming anytime soon. But guess what's coming back?
Nugget Fest.
Mobtown Meat Snack. Well, that will come back eventually, but Mobtown Meat Snacks. Hootalally, I'm going to start making some beef jerky again on a very small scale, non-commercial. It's not going to be in any stores or farmers markets. It's going to be like completely directly from me, which means, as always, you can spend money on us on Venmo at City That Breeds, the Cash Apps, hashtag City That Breeds, etc., etc.
If you need a bike courier, I work very cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I will pay you $1 to deliver to Reisterstown on bike.
Oh, that's a ride that I want to do, but okay.
Okay.
And so, Evan, thank you for bringing back the jerky.
Yeah. With COVID going on and everybody kind of figuring out ways to boost their side hustles and whatnot, I have all of this dormant equipment that I haven't been using for quite some time, and I figured, hey, it's the 80s. I'm not frozen. I was just saying.
Oh, okay, cool. It's like this is the end of like an LA law or some shit.
Yes. I should have gone do. Anyway, Bryan Preston, you're here. Give us some plugs of yours, your social media, and you've got a live event coming up we should know about.
I do. Well, I don't know. When does this go live?
It's going to go on tomorrow, so...
Oh, cool. Well, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, you can find myself and former guest of the show, Violet Gray. We'll be out in Ellicott City at 7 o'clock. Unfortunately, the show is sold out, but maybe you can still find tickets, but I don't know. That's a cool ass thing.
But that's Saturday night?
That's Friday night. That is tomorrow. That is tonight. Much like
If you're listening tomorrow. Yes.
If you're listening tomorrow, tonight, much like the Smashing Pumpkins song, you come out and we are, I don't know, in the parking lot behind Laff-A-Matic or some shit, in beach chairs telling jokes.
Have you done a whole lot of these outdoor shit? Because I saw Melissa Villaseñor, who's like one of my top 5 SNL cast members right now. She did like comedy from a Little League baseball dugout.
I
yeah.
have done one other. I've done a bunch of shows on like Zoom and shit, but I've done one other show like in the lawn right next to a tiny library / kind of murder house in Pennsylvania.
So the last time we had you on was like a couple of months ago. You know, it was. I think I was still keeping it secret that I was like at my dad's house. How have you found comedy in the last couple of months? How'd you like the Zoom show stuff?
You know, it's one of those things where it's like it's better than nothing, I suppose. And on my end of things, like I know they are starting to do like indoor comedy at places again. Everyone's like, well, we're gonna wipe everything down, we're gonna social distance. My big thing though is like they're all in bars and restaurants and shit and like comedy clubs. And the one real thing that you're not supposed to do during the coronavirus, of course, is eat shit indoors with people. So even though everyone's like, if you gotta walk around, you gotta have a mask on and shit. I mean, that's good for whatever. Personally, I ain't really doing that shit until we get this shit under control as far as indoor. The Zoom shows, they're better than nothing. You don't really get that same immediate like feedback, camaraderie. There's a lot of shit that's missing from the Zoom. But I think it's better than nothing. And on my end, it's just like I don't think it's really worth it to like just for me anyway, just because like I got shitty health insurance, so I'm not trying.
I gotta assume it's tough to get timing down and shit. I mean, you can write new material, but can you really test it out the way you need to?
I mean, like I try to test it out on like. Well, that's the other thing is like I test a lot of the shit out before I actually get on stage with. I try to test it out on like social media beforehand, see how it goes there. And then if a lot of people react to it, then I'm like, cool, that's gonna go in there. And also by it being out there on the internet, because I ain't fucking famous, it's like you've also sort of copywritten it in like a sort of unofficial capacity.
I do love your Facebook posts. I try not to comment on all of them.
Yeah.
But I certainly do like commenting on them a lot.
Yeah, you do. But never liking them.
It's not just Preston's posts.
I don't like posts. I ignore it or I comment. That's how it works.
Fair enough.
Don't hit the like button. That's how the algorithm gets you.
Okay, sure.
Is that true?
No.
Well, it's going to be part of my shout out, but yes.
Right.
Okay.
Well, actually, I have so many shout outs. Actually, okay, this might as well be a small topic. It's a Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically about how.
That's chlamydia, right?
Have you seen
Social Dilemma?
Yes. Have you seen season 3 of Westworld? No, of course not.
Yes.
Basically, it's about how like these social media companies they have so much data on every single thing that you do on their websites that they've built a virtual profile of you and your behavior, and they can predict what you will react to, what you'll buy, what you will do, what you will react favorably or unfavorably to. And it's truly science fiction stuff. But these are all the, ex-founders of Twitter, Instagram, et cetera, saying, yes, this is not a bug, it's the feature. We are absolutely tracking you and predicting your behavior, and everyone on Earth is now just an algorithm.
Yeah, radios weren't invented to play music. They were invented to sell ads. Twitter wasn't invented so you could, get your thoughts out in 140 characters. It was invented to sell ads.
Yeah, it's the music wasn't the product. You're the product.
I thought radio was invented so they could name a Cuba Gooding Jr. movie after it, like 80 years later.
The world's greatest football player. Actually, the movie was Snow Dogs.
Fair enough. More of a boat trip guy myself.
Snow Dogs was a failed spin-off of Instagram. Anyway.
I don't know why I like that so much.
A very brief tangent that I wanted to make before we got to a couple of Baltimore topics, one of which is a follow-up, because last week we were talking about the supposed or pending cancellation of the Union Craft Brewery. And today, a friend of mine and Brian's from college wrote an op-ed in the Baltimore Sun. She is a principal at a school. She lives in Medfield. She loves Union. And essentially her opinion was this is cancellation culture at its worst. This is bad. If one of the owners, and not all 5 of them, are acting poorly, we need to get rid of that person and give them the chance to correct their ways without them being fully canceled on an Instagram post. And I had two thoughts actually. One of which was, I don't know if this street artist person who made this post, did he receive permission to air these grievances, or was it just some? I guess this is a bigger question. So if you know of bad behavior at an establishment that involves an employee that's like, say, a friend of yours or people that you know, is it their business or is it the public's business to know that the owner or an employee or whoever it is acting poorly, and therefore you should blow that up without consulting with the victims? Do you see what I'm saying?
I have to assume that he knew about it because he knew a victim and he ran it by them. You know, I think that just makes sense to me. I don't think he's like, I think somebody, you know, he was at a party with someone and she was like, fuck this. And he said, I'm going to make an image out of it. Look, could I be cynical and be like, nah, this dude just wants to make sure people saw his art? Maybe. But I'm a Pollyanna. I'm a chump. I'm always going to assume people are doing the right thing. And that, yes, he ran it by whoever his friend was that was a victim of this. And, you know, they said, go for it.
All right, that's your assumption. I don't necessarily have any assumptions at this point, except there is more material to read that involves some language that so I think I expressed my disappointment when we previously discussed this topic, that the person who outed Union used hashtags to promote themselves in the post, which I think is distasteful at best. And I think the follow-up post was, hey, or maybe they used the royal we when they made the post, repeatedly used the language of, I wanted this to happen. I expect this behavior. I blah, blah, blah. And I was like, stop using first person, you know, don't do that. Like, it's not about you. It's not about you, what you want. It's about what's expected of the culture. Anyway, phrasing, just bad to me. I didn't like it. But I do like my friend, and I like her op-ed. And I, you know, so long as they are acting in kind and getting their shit together, like, yes, we can go back. Bryan, you should be happy.
I am. I was just, you know, perusing the article again. I think she makes some good points, but I just, man, I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. I'd like to hear from the victims because that's just an insane statement to make. And of course, they have no need to assuage my feelings. But like, you know, it's just, it's all of this.
Bryan Preston's putting a finger up. What's going on?
As a person on this issue, I don't have enough like information. I mean, I'm aware that I saw like the original post. I like posted on people's Instagram stories very briefly, like one day, a couple weeks ago. I don't have all the information on the story on this specific instance to really have an informed opinion on it. But what I will say though, just under the general auspices of this whole idea of cancel culture, is that like nobody's actually really been like successfully 100% canceled. Like a lot of people are like, oh, so and so's been canceled. Like Louis C.K. Like Graham, he got moved down from like doing theaters, moving comedy clubs, but like these motherfuckers still go out there and make like a living and can still buy and sell all of our chump asses. You know what I mean? Like I can't really think of like anyone outside of people that have actually like. I think the whole thing of people like freaking out about cancel culture, be like, so it's like nobody actually ever gets like 100% canceled. These people that still go out there, do their shit, make money. They still, because there's a lot of people that are like, fuck cancel culture, that will go out, and Louis C.K. will go out and sell out every show that he does at like the Goobs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
but here's where I'm at with it. I don't need the side eye from people. I don't need people being like, oh, he goes to Union. You know?
I don't think anybody I think most people don't know about this. Like John Q. Public, I don't think anyone knows or cares outside of a very select like subsection of Baltimore motherfuckers. Because like, I mean, I saw like posts, like I saw like Instagram stories for like maybe half a day about it or something. That's barely all my exposure. It was like, oh, there's some shit going on in Union. Okay, and then it's not about my dad.
I feel like close friend of the show, Liz, and her friends would really hate it if we kept going to Union. You know,
Fair enough. Sorry, Liz.
Yeah,
very close friends.
Tough shit.
I've been there maybe twice in my life, and as you guys know, I do love to drink. So
I've been there twice in the last 30 days.
Oh, fair enough. I went there once for oyster.
That was before we.
I've been there once. I've been there once in my fucking life. Actually, now that I think about it, I've had their beer a shitload of times at local bars, but I've only actually been to the facility one time.
Sorry, but the other aspect of this whole thing that I forgot to address is that they, quote, didn't address it for many, many months or however long it was. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, that's fine.
Which I think, quite frankly, like if they were trying to do things about this but were keeping it internal, that's one thing. But if they were sweeping it under the rug, that's a totally different thing. But again, this is not the case in which you've got a Vince's Crab House in which one owner, the owner, is a puerile racist on Facebook or something like that. You've got 1 out of 5 owners that is acting.
And you don't know which owner this is and how much of a piece he has and how busy he was in the business. But from everything that, from the post that I've seen, it seems like he was one of the, he might have been a little bit important.
Right, which is that's really difficult.
Well,
expensive to get rid of that person.
Well, then you spend the money and you get him the fuck out. I think that's their biggest mistake.
Yeah,
not buying the dude out day of.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't. I don't know
if they can legally.
Here's your 50,000. Nice, nice knowing you.
But not only that, now that it's becoming a public issue, are people lawyering up? ? I mean, is there going to be sort of NDA involved lawsuit?
it could happen.
It can happen.
Like, my teachers don't want to sexually harass me anymore. And to them, I say, have a hamburger Happy Meal. McWorld.
All right, so from one shitty topic to the next.
Oh, good.
Because, this past week was very great for Baltimore awfulness. Well, between Labor Day and now, like, I don't know, 100,000 people have been shot. I don't know what the news is on the violent front, but another Me Too situation. Apparently, MICA is getting now completely thrown under.
Oh yeah, no, they got a vote of no confidence from the faculty, the senior leadership, or like people in senior leadership and all that shit. I do believe. Yeah, they got voted out, right? Or at least there's been a total vote of non-confidence from like the entire faculty.
Yeah,
right?
well, the overwhelming majority of the faculty, but Bryan shared to the group chat an Instagram account called MICA Callouts that basically lays out like a bunch of quotes from all these former students about these teachers and their, the accusations of racism and sexual harassment and et cetera, which...
And that's separate from the no confidence vote.
Kind of,
it's a completely different thing, right?
Yeah, because apparently the no confidence vote stemmed from years of just mismanagement and like old boy politics and bullshit that they were sick of.
And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was their handling of the pandemic, because what I gathered from it was that the leadership was making decisions without talking to the administration and be like, hey, would you be okay with this? Let's get your input before we make these, life-changing decisions, and just did stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sucks. Again, like anytime this happens in the city of Baltimore, which already has such a problem with PR.
What? We get the thong song. Let's go. He's one of ours.
Look, Bryan, we can't keep riding on the thong song for the next 30 years.
I did that song with DMX. Drew Hill had a bunch of hits. What's weird to me always is Drew Hill, 0 songs about the lovely Druid Hill disc golf course. Anyway.
Ooh, guys, let's write a BuzzFeed article about how the thong song is old enough to drink. Feel old yet?
It's 21 years.
It's got to be older than that.
No, it's
is it 99?
No, the song's no, it was summer 2000. It's 20 this year. I remember because it's a very long story.
I love this because the video, Bryan looks like he's actually doing keyboard work on the Enterprise.
It does.
That's all I've ever wanted to hear. It was released
actually doing nothing.
No.
It was released in 1999.
Okay, 21.
All right. Okay. Shit, I remember the album coming out in 2000. All right.
Do you remember the title of the album?
Enter the Dragon.
Unleash the Dragon.
Unleash. God damn it. God damn it. No.
Enter the Dragon was taken.
No, it was Unleash the Dragon. Because they made like some sort of elaborate, like multi-million-dollar music video where he fights a dragon, and it was never released.
Oh, because Cisco is Prince. Gotcha.
Anyway, MICA got called out. Let's
talk
about this.
Yeah, this is fun. Let's talk about this.
Were Redman and Method Man in that video?
They may have been. I saw like one time on MTV, they're like, here's some music videos that were never released that cost millions of dollars, and one of them is the video for Unleash the Dragon.
Oh.
I've got. Anyway, let's get back to MICA. I live on their campus.
No. I think we're done with MICA. Like,
Okay.
bad behavior. If you want to find the MICA call out Instagram, read it. It's kind of.
Oh, interesting. You know what actually is the worst investment in higher education for your dollar in America?
Micah?
Yep. Worse than
Is
the
that-
entire fucking country. That's a fact, Jack.
What is that? Weekly U.S. News and World Report?
One of them. I forget what publication it was, but
I
a couple
always
years
call it
ago.
the Weekly World News.
I wish that was still a thing.
But so
Bat Boy went to Micah.
no better reason than to flush the toilet on senior leadership at the school, but also like, I mean, look, I grew up in this area, and when I was in high school and in college, I spent a lot of time in the city, and I interact with a lot of MICA kids, and I got opinions about MICA kids, good and bad, and I'm like, I don't know what you think you're going to do with this degree, but I wish you the best. I really do.
As I've,
No,
Mr. Preston,
Bryan.
please.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So like years ago, one of my good friends, Evan, my good friend, one of his little brother went to MICA, and years ago when I was still in college, I would go over there and like I would help his like roommates with their like English papers in exchange for weed, and I would just be like, "Holy shit, can you read, buddy?" Just like just the work. Again, I went from like private school to like college and shit, and then like just the shit I would see from the MICA kids, like just their writing, I was just like, "Bruh, do you know what complete sentences are and how subjects and verbs agree and shit?"
They have English classes at Micah?
Yeah, they have like gen eds and shit. Yeah,
Okay. Well, okay. I guess. Ooh.
yeah, they got like gen eds. I think I know like one of the professors used to come to our classes at Towson or some shit because like her and yeah.
As I got older, I really wish I had spent more time trying to nail Micah chicks. It's an aesthetic that grew on me and that I found that I really liked. And, you know, I wish I had done more of that. Yeah. This is
Getting
you know,
to this most, least wordful degree, Casey just sent a link from Forbes, and it says, and I just search termed MICA. In the article, it said some 51% of MICA grads are self-employed, so they don't get counted on the pay scale, which is to say, if you have a degree from MICA, you can't be counted on like earth because you're self-employed.
So and the calculation that they say is that if I guess the cost of a 4-year degree without financial aid is $207,800. So this is 2015. This was 2015, so it's probably even more now.
To MICA.
And the return on investment with financial aid is negative $78,000.
this is so insular, just us dunking on this like.
Well, it's I mean,
it's the greatest art school in the country, right?
no.
Or something.
Dude, RISD's a better fucking art school than MICA.
SCAD
I
is a
guess
better art school.
SCAD.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's so many other art schools that are better fucking art schools than MICA. As far as
Here's the
national-
point of the dunking on
Fuck you,
MICA
Micah.
is like, hey, do better. That's it. I mean, I've been to so many art shows that were put on by MICA at like the Copycat Building or the H&H or Floristry or whatever they kept rebranding it as.
It's still a copycat in here.
Some of it was pretty cool, but a lot of it is just like, it's like I get it. They're trying, like they're learning, they're flourishing.
I was about to say like maybe as I enter into this new stage of my life, what I'll do is I'll become a patron of the arts, like so I can meet art chicks. But then I realized as I thought that I'm part of the problem.
Yes, that's
The
true.
more you know.
Actually, like years ago, when I was sort of hang out with MICA kids a lot more frequently in the early to mid 2000s. They would always be like, you know what, Brett? Like, you could probably like go to school here and graduate just because you're so good at bullshitting. You could probably ace all your comps.
Well, but isn't that the best part about hanging out at the Crown though? Is all the MICA kids and just how much cooler they are than us?
No, all right. I didn't come up with this, but I did. One of my favorite tweets I saw this year was like, you ever
Please.
notice how like all the girls at the Crown look like Joe Exotic?
No, sometimes
And I hang out
Are we
at the
getting in
Crown.
trouble?
sometimes they're.
I saw it on
comedic
Twitter. I did not
hits.
come up with that. That was no,
Is this
I didn't-
podcast going to get canceled?
Dude, I didn't want to get into the podcast I did last night. Let's just move on.
Oh, dear. Hey, yeah, let's move on. I got to
We're
set.
not going to get canceled. This is fine.
Casey.
That's right. This is tame.
This is so tame given like the podcasting world I come. Actually, you know what, guys? While we're talking about the next topic, check out Laugh-Finder. It's fucked up.
I will.
Is it just a whole bunch of elves, fucking dwarves and stuff?
No. The gameplay part would actually be pretty straight. It's just like on game night, which you can catch Brian Levy on September 30th.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it gets pretty fucking insane. Anyway, sorry to take it. Yeah, sorry to take up the
I'm
time.
really looking forward to it.
I know, buddy.
All right. I'm going to hit the sound effect one more time.
I heard it.
That means, Casey,
I have
you've got a topic that you're going to bring up because you did a thing earlier without us. I hate you, but you've got a report from Snack Food Land.
Oh yeah. So in the Fam Zone Extreme, there was
Hold
some
on, 1
discussion. There was some discussion. Totally for like we talked about this a couple weeks ago that the McDonald's is coming out with spicy nuggets,
Yeah.
and
After
they're out.
30, 40 years? I don't what?
Something like that. Yeah. So I am doing a comparison of the Royal Farms spicy tenders with the McDonald's spicy McNuggets. And as a bonus, got the mighty hot sauce and the hot mustard sauce from McDonald's.
Here's a question. Isn't this like comparing a Titleist to a mini golf ball?
Kind of. That I mean, spoiler alert.
Yeah. I mean, I already have the answer in my head. He's eating a spicy nug on camera. But
Is this your first taste, Casey?
No,
Oh, okay, good.
we were waiting. We were waiting for you. So
yeah,
thank
for
you.
45 minutes.
Hey, man, I'm living a life.
Are you?
I've got the.
Is that what you call it?
I'm in the fast-paced world of lunch meats, friend.
Ooh.
hashtag giant life.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
listening to WGNT on the overhead speakers. It's amazing.
Sounds good.
So the best way to describe the McDonald's nugget is kind of like a spicy Cheeto without the cheese. Like it's just like this muted. It doesn't taste that spicy. Like
Right.
I would hesitate to even call it a spicy nugget.
Right. Yeah, that
Now,
my prediction was no fast food chain can do spicy right. And
I
I
don't know.
Mm.
The Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich is pretty good.
It ain't
is
bad.
it spicy though? I mean, what I'm talking about is the actual spice. Like a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich has some spice to it.
Yes,
No,
sir.
I do you remember the Big King sandwich from Burger King? Not Big King. That's their Big Mac.
The Angry Whopper.
The
I was
Angry
gonna say
Whopper.
The
Not
Tender
very
Crisp.
spicy.
The spicy Tender Crisp, which was
Oh.
their spicy chicken sandwich that they had. I loved the Tender Crisp sandwich. It's the best fast food chicken sandwich. It's been discontinued. It's real sad. But the spicy Tender Crisp was delicious and very spicy.
I do enjoy a Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. I mean, but again, none of these are like spicy.
All right, here's for my dollar. Okay, so in 1994 or 93,
Uh-huh.
Taco Bell, these do the mild and the wild tacos. Those were actually spicy. And again, I can't stress this enough. For me personally, my favorite was the Congo volcano menu at Taco Bell as well. They had a goddamn spicy burrito, gorillas and shit. Fantastic. If I had a time machine, not gorilla meat, but like there was girls on the package who was like, Congo, here's a goddamn Tim Curry's on your cup. If you get like him and Ernie Hudson, you win $1 million.
Was it a movie tie-in?
Yes, they had a whole fucking volcano menu for the movie Congo at Taco Bell, and they had like these spicy burritos, and they were good as shit, and you can't get them anymore. And like for like the last 25 years, they haunt.
Hi, I'm Ernie
I
Hudson.
remember
You
that.
know, the other Ghostbuster. And
Pretty
I'm
much.
here to tell you to have the Gorilla Taco.
Yeah,
Only at Taco Bell.
Yeah, dude, volcano menu at Taco Bell in 1995. Man, it just Jesus Christ. I imagine that's how people think about the 60s that lived through.
I want to revisit how Evan asked if it was a movie tie-in, as if Taco Bell, the Mr. Bell himself, Mr. Taco C. Bell,
Mr. Bell.
was at the library, just scanning the new releases and said, "Oh, Congo, eh?" From the writer of Jurassic Park, and it was a novel tie-in. They had
Right.
tied into the book, not the movie.
I had forgotten, A,
the book, not the
I-
movie.
I had forgotten that movie existed, but B, forgot that.
Amy.
But I
Amy.
forgot that it was supposed to be like this big blockbuster,
Mhm.
and it was a pile of dog shit, and also probably had the most gorilla body count of any movie of all time, and I'm including all three of the new
Planet of the Apes movies.
suits.
No, they do stay killing gorillas in that movie.
It's all metaphor.
Yeah, dude, but no.
But aren't they like super smart gorillas or something?
Well, you know what? The one gorilla, yeah, they are smart gorillas, and they live in the diamond mine of Zinj, or whatever, yeah.
Wait, is Congo like a Tarzan book? What's going on here? There's a secret diamond mine with
What
a
is the whole
crazy-
thing? All right, so it's pretty much the whole
Isn't
thing.
there
They're trying to-
lasers involved?
Yes, they're trying to get a diamond so they can use that to position a goddamn laser to get like global cell phone shit or something. And the one guy from Nip Tuck is there and he can talk to gorillas. Or he's like the gorilla handler or some shit, the one smart gorilla who can like sign language talk. And then there's a bunch of like smart evil gorillas. They beat Tim Curry to death. And yeah, they're trying to get to the goddamn diamond mine to get a big ass diamond to do a cell phone positioning thing. This got way off topic.
What are these gorillas? Millennials? Are they like, oh, we're so angry about it, Tim Curry? That was a stretch.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad.
Anyway, Casey, getting back to these McNuggets, you're saying not very spicy, but as opposed to the Rofo chicken tendy, which
Yeah, like the Rosefo chicken tender is a 9 out of 10. I will say though that the mighty hot sauce is pretty good. It's pretty good.
do you have the label from the Mighty Hot Sauce?
I do.
So can you read us the ingredients?
All right, water, vinegar,
Benzoate.
sugar, chili peppers, cayenne red peppers, salt, apricot concentrate, garlic, cornstarch, yeah, and then the normal.
Wow, so there's no like vegetable oil in it because everything else that they have is basically some kind of fake mayonnaise.
Soybean oil.
Oh. But either way, it's their attempt at a facsimile of an actual hot sauce, yes?
Also, early 90s, McDonald's, and they used to do the Mighty Wings in 1991, 1992. I was on a goddamn water polo trip and we got some. Those were actually spicy. All right, I'm done.
But that was their like that was their try at bone-in chicken wings.
Yeah, that was a try of bone-in chicken, but you got like the hot Mighty Wings, those were actually spicy.
Bone
So,
in.
but why would you go to
Bone
McDonald's
in.
and get bone-in wings? Like that
Because-
doesn't
Bone-in
seem-
wings.
Because you're going to McDonald's after a water polo trip, after you lost a water polo game, and then that's what you want to get because you have to go to McDonald's because you're a child. You don't choose.
And wait, what is this product called?
There were Mighty Wings.
And they
They were spicy
but
at McDonald's.
but what was the kind of meat were they?
Chicken.
In
I
Bone-in.
I just want someone else to say bone in.
Yeah, they were bone-in.
bone-in.
They weren't adult nuggies.
They were bone in.
Totally
I'll have the porn wings, please, because they're bone in. Bone in.
All right,
Although I like this so
Brian is
much.
the king of comedy, and that is why it is time to take a little break.
Oh.
And celebrate internet sensation. Casey,
Yeah, Casey.
effect wrong.
Casey.
Sleeping 92 cute summer shoutouts.
Casey, what the fuck?
It's 11:30. Like it should be.
Yeah. Shout outs. It's time to take a break and celebrate the internet sensation. Mad props, aka shout outs to persons, places, and things that are giving us jollies and improving our quality of life. I know we have a few from the fam zone. Casey, do you have those?
I do.
Very
Haley
I was like,
says.
your drinking's getting in the way.
Haley says, shout out to Charm City Books for having amazing customer service and a delivery moped.
Yeah, that's the new local bookstore, right?
Yeah, I mean, it did. I don't know if that beats a delivery tri. What the hell was that thing you had? The trike?
Oh,
The
me?
trike?
Yes, I have the delivery trike. Still have that in my shed. I'm gonna have to shoot a video of it, and I'll wear a Cobra Commander costume while I do it to make it worth everyone's while.
There you go.
Evan, is that trike exercise?
It can be if you don't use the throttle.
Okay. If you ever want to exercise and I'll bike ride while you trike ride.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to go uphill on it. I don't really.
Mhm. I
Anyway,
also had to figure out how to go uphill on that bike. It was
Yeah.
tough.
more shout out to the fam zone.
Hannah says, shout out to Sweater Weather.
Sweater
And I
weather.
believe that there was a GIF of from SNL.
Yes, sweater
involved.
weather.
I've
And-
begun to see my favorite autumnal wildlife, the sweater puppy.
Mm,
There
yes.
have been sweater puppies out.
Yeah, I'm definitely down with opening the windows in the past couple of days. It's very pleasant.
Puppies,
Liz-
JR.
Is that all we got from the fam zone, Casey?
And Liz G says, this, but sock weather.
Ah, socks. Okay.
Yeah, but I agree because I don't know. Since now that I work from home, like I only just recently started wearing socks again. Like after March, just barefoot the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a sock wearing motherfucker.
Me too. My feet sweat.
Yeah, I got hardwood floors. I like to swish on them.
Yeah, and I'm afraid of splinters.
Have you, Casey, have you installed laser cannons around your house yet? Like, are you putting up the barbed wire and the concrete walls and this and that and the other?
No, why
6
would
to
I?
almost 7 months in COVID.
No, not quite.
He did approach a local pool company about building a moat, though.
Right.
Oh, that would actually be pretty cool.
Full of electric eels. All right, my shout out this week, 2 of them actually. One to Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark. It's her birthday today. She turned 69.
Nice.
And also a
Nice.
birthday to a friend of the show, Chris L. He is a fan of the show. He listens to most episodes, and he had a birthday recently.
And we're a fan of his.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's mine. Who's got one?
Ah,
Shout
you know.
out.
Oh,
Yep.
Brian, you go first. Levy.
which one? Thank you.
Levy.
I don't think I've really made it clear how big of a fan of Taylor Swift I've become over the summer. She was, folklore was really there for me when I needed it, when I was at my saddest. Really helped me get through some feelings. Last night, Taylor sang the song Betty at the American Country Music Awards.
Oh, yeah, I did not watch it.
I was at work, but I've watched the clip like 7 or 8 times today. And I just wanted to shout out, that's a beautiful song, and I love it. Shout out to the Taylor Swift song, Betty.
Okay, Bryan Preston.
Oh, you know what?
Nothing. There's no response to that at all.
Nope.
Nothing to say.
No.
Move it along. Come on, let's go.
I don't know. I'm just gonna shout out Beyonce just on principle. No, but She's great.
that.
Black
that
is
really-
King, motherfucker. Okay, I haven't seen it. I do have Disney Plus. I have not seen it. But you know what I'd like to give a shout out to? The one thing that's keeping me sane right now is I'd like to give a shout out to just the many. You got Druid Hill Park, you got Lake Montebello, you got Rockford, you got a bunch of. I just want to give a shout out to all of the wonderful disc golf courses right around the city. It's a thing I've gotten back into because I can't go inside places, and it's a fun outdoor thing I can do with my friends. So I've gotten back into the disc golf. I use discs now, and I now think frisbee golf is for savages. So
Yeah, I was going to say,
20-year-old
Brian
me can suck.
Preston, we should take a day trip down to the old St. Mary's College. And
Oh God, I'm sure that would just be weird as shit. I would be like, man, I saw a girl lick fucking Captain Morgan's rum off of this track right here
Yeah.
after dropping a bottle of it on the ground, or like, man, I have to really rethink a lot of these stories people told me because, frankly, in the Me Too era, they're not cool anymore.
No.
Yeah, like it's just Jesus Christ. So many memories. I do want to go get a goddamn St. Inigo's cheesesteak sandwich though.
Ooh, yeah,
I
good
got-
stuff.
Yeah.
I
Oh, and
got
also
lost in Druid Hill Park the other day. I could see the entire city. I knew exactly where I was. I just could not find my way to a road. Was on a lot of paths, saw a lot of that place. Could not get out of there.
also I bet Viet still lives down there. Okay.
It's a big park.
It's beautiful, and that's another show. Oh, also shout out to the Simone Bolivar Memorial Bust in Guilford. For some reason, there is a statue of Simone Bolivar's head in Roland Park.
Nice.
Don't know why it's there. I mean, I know why it's there, kind of. But I've still got questions. That head in our town, city.
Do we need to cancel that head? Is it racist?
No. His nickname. I did a little bit of Wikipediaing of Simone Bolivar. He overthrew Spanish rule, and he's known as the Liberator. I think he's. If I had to guess, the hippies who like to tear down statues are probably a fan of his.
Pro Simone.
Yeah. There's statues of him a lot. The guy who did our statue of his head also did that Iwo Jima soldiers doing the flag thing.
I was hoping you would say Frank Zappa.
No. I have a bust of Raven Simone, so it's the same thing.
That's my favorite Edgar Allan Poe poem.
Yeah, that's a Raven.
That's so Raven. That's so Raven, nevermore.
Quotes the Raven. That's so Raven.
That's so Raven.
All right, Casey, what do you got for shout-outs?
Super Mario 3D All Stars comes out like in a half hour. Excited about that. Way too excited. Never actually played Mario Sunshine, so I'll
that's
be
a good
digging
one.
into that.
Mario Sunshine, since it came out on GameCube, is ignored, but that's a fun game.
I had it on GameCube. I never finished it, but I do believe it's going to be available on Switch for a limited time.
I enjoyed it.
You have to March.
Never finished it. The flood can kind of suck my dick.
Right. All right, that has been what I like to call shout-outs. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be right back with our very special guest, a therapist and life coach from an undisclosed location. We'll be right back. All right, we're back from break, and we are joined by our very special guest, friend of the show, Bane. Should be known that Bane, aside from being a supervillain from Gotham City, is also an unlicensed therapist. So today we will have some life questions, advice questions from our listeners for Bane. Bane, how are you tonight?
I'm doing splendid.
We've entered into month 6 of quarantine, Bane. Have you been making any plans? Any sort of conquest? Like, do you have any vile deeds ready for when COVID ends? Follow-up question that you can answer along with it. Will you get the vaccine when it's offered?
I won't. I already wear a mask at all times. I don't need a vaccine. It would cut the venom in my body. As far as my plans, they're already going to fruition.
You want to clue us in?
Well, my first plan is I'm going to go see Borat 2 in theaters. I've been working on my Borat impression. Wah-wah, we wah.
I was going to ask it. Can we hear it?
My wife. Not. That's it. It's great.
I can't believe we don't have Sacha Baron Cohen here. It's
know.
perfect.
I thought we had him on.
You can't get this. You can't get this. Oh, no, wait. You'll never get this. You will never get this.
I kind of want to ask Bane how you feel about the Jews.
They're okay. I do love challah bread.
A nice French toast.
No. I've been to Miss Shirley's. It's overpriced.
Well, Bane, now that we have you here again, I'm very excited. So could you give us a little bit of your therapy background? I was a peer mediator at Franklin High School. Were you a peer mediator at Cave Prison High School?
Well, I did have a minor in both backbreaking and psychology. Also, I did once catch somebody outside like Dr. Phil. I caught the bat and I broke his body.
when did you find that you had an aptitude for helping people like get through their problems?
Well, it was the first time I was on there, the island prison of Santa Prisca, and I killed a man with my bare hands, and I realized I helped him with his problem of being alive. His life sucked.
I was on an island prison.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure his wife was cheating on him.
That bitch.
No, he wasn't meeting her needs. He
Uh,
was on an island prison.
that's going around. Anyway, when you advertise yourself as an unlicensed therapist,
Yes.
do you think that brings a certain edge to the advice that you give? Are you more of like an Ann Landers or a Dear Abby?
Yes, I know of your Ann Landers. She's frail and weak. I could easily break her with one arm. I'm more like a dear Bane.
If you had to pick a specialty, what do you most enjoy giving advice about?
I love dealing with relationships. If it's one thing I love, it's venom. And if it's another thing I love, it's love.
Well, I think this is, I think we do have some listener questions, but I mean,
Yes.
I have my own questions. Bane, you've had many relationships. I think most notably with Talia al Ghul.
Yes.
I think if I'm remembering, Dark Knight Rises, a very bad movie, correctly.
Let's not be too critical. It's better than Batman and Robin.
Oof. Well, we could talk about what our favorite Batman movies was. I think I would love to know what Bane's list of favorite Batman movies are.
My favorite Batman is Val Kilmer. He's dreamy. Also, I love Top Secret.
Oh, Top Secret's a great movie. How do you feel about Real Genius?
It's okay.
I have a theory about Real Genius, and that is that like true Gen Xers love Real Genius, but myself as a millennial straddling that line, I just have no feelings towards Real Genius. But that's not important right now. So Bane,
They fill a map when your house is full of popcorn. You have my permission to die.
So Bane, you've been with Talia al Ghul. I have recently, of course, gone through a separation. I have not yet entered into the dating world, but it's something that is coming, I'm sure, in my life. How do you recommend that kind of step for me?
Oh, well, Bane is getting a lot of new information just right now. And
wait,
be yourself and be confident. Go. I live in an island prison, and I do crimes. I'm Bane.
Bryan,
I have a lot of stuff on my plate, like burning Gotham to ashes.
Bryan, Bane doesn't follow your Facebook or talk to you on the phone every day.
No, you don't hang out with Bane. I do this podcast once every 3 months. I'm not up on your shit, man.
Sometimes
You should be up on Bane's shit. I'm burning Gotham.
So you think I'm focusing too much on myself?
Frankly, that's a lot for Bane to unpack right now on the spot. He doesn't have all of the information. I just say, get out there, be yourself. Maybe sign up for Bumble.
Oh, Bane, have you done a lot of the apps?
No. Bane closes ass in real life. Bane's an alpha. You're a gamma.
Oh.
Oh, Bane, question. Are you into pickup culture?
Yeah. Why do you think I put on the mask?
That's your peacocking? The mask is your
Yes.
peacock?
More of a phoenix rising from the ashes of Gotham.
I was gonna say, Bane, you should start your own dating app called Baneable, and for mask wearing, men and women.
Yes. We're socially distanced. And also, we'll break your back,
Right.
ladies. I mean sexually, not like I do to Batman. No violence towards the women. Just the bat.
Oh my god.
Very good.
All right,
All right,
what about you guys? Do you have any Evan's been having some problems with the neighbors.
No. Well, so Bane, I didn't want to bring this up because it's a touchy subject, but as you
You think they're gonna hear this?
as you know, in the city of Baltimore, recycling has been suspended until next month, right? So
Yes.
the neighbors keep putting their recycling out front, so the recycling just keeps piling up. I'm not so sure what to do about it. Should we leave them a nice little letter that says like, "Hey, gentle reminder"? What should we do?
I think you just have to live with it. That's my opinion. Bane?
Draw a bat and light a food and set it ablaze. It will send a message, and messages are strong. You've got to be an idea.
Well, what happens if Batman actually shows up and like kicks down their door and beats them to a pulp?
Batman is too busy fighting the mentally ill and the hopeless to worry about, I'm assuming, white homeowners.
White homeowners. What if he discovers that they've been running like a QAnon-style sex trafficking ring for pedos?
Bane has been to your house, your basement. It's not that large.
It's not my basement. It's their basement.
Their basement isn't that large either.
I mean, kids are tiny.
Unless he's got a series of bunk beds, but you notice no one can fit that many children in a home in Federal Hill.
That's true. They do have a window in their basement. I think it would be pretty obvious if there were bunk.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Bane. I'll consider it.
You're welcome.
Past the council, and by that I mean my girlfriend.
Not. I'm still Borat.
Okay.
Have you seen Bruno? He shows his penis.
He does.
Funky sides.
All right, let's get to these questions. Dr. Bane. Should I call you Dr. Bane? Are you comfortable with that?
I didn't spend 6 years in medical school. I'm kidding, I didn't. It's an internet degree. But you should call me Dr. Bane.
All right. Dr. Bane.
I assume it would be a University of Phoenix degree.
No, it's Grand Canyon University.
Indeed.
Cave Prison State.
Yeah, Cave. Title of the episode.
They only have a master's.
Oh, it's real specialized over there.
It is.
All right, our first listener question comes to us from, I forget who. Oh, his name is Johnny. Okay, I'm doing my best at getting more organized. Any advice on organizing a, quote, workshop? Do tools get sorted by size or alphabetically?
You should sort your tools by the amount of blood on them. The ones with the most blood are the ones you use the most. I can't carve out a man's heart with an Allen wrench, and that's why it stays at the bottom.
What is the most useful tool for carving out a man's heart?
A spoon.
Well, you would think something sharper would be useful.
It'll hurt more.
So Bane, on your tool board, on your pegboard, you've got like a hacksaw, a set of pliers, a sawzall, and then a spoon.
On my pegboard, I've got a series of heads. I have a dresser. I have a tool shed and cabinet for all of my implements of destruction.
So you like the spoon, but a spoon is a very intimate one-on-one. What's your favorite mass, weapon of mass destruction?
My thoughts. I'm kidding. No, Bane. Bane is a bit of a jokester. No, but of course it's a bomb to blow up Gotham. A very usually easily disarmable bomb. You just hook it up to your bat plane and you fly it out. You'd think we'd think this out more, but we don't.
Well, sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Honestly,
Yeah.
don't build bombs in a cave. That's just life advice, and it's free.
So to summarize, your tools are not sorted by size or alphabetically; they're sorted by blood.
Of course.
Okay.
That's how you measure a man, how much blood he has in him.
At what point do you need to say rinse off any blood, or because it can get slippery?
It certainly can. I don't like the chunky bits of human flesh.
So like when a heart carving spoon gets like too crusted with blood, do you eventually throw it away and just replace it with a brand new spoon, or is that like that spoon is battle worn and you need to maintain it?
Oh, you can't put it in. Have you ever used a cast iron skillet? It's just like that. You can't use water. You must use soap. I have a whole series on it, Better Living.
Oh, I was gonna say YouTube videos, instructionals, that kind of thing.
Of course. Bane is with the times.
Better Caves and Prisons
Nice.
is the other magazine.
Yes.
Good one. Him and Martha Stewart on the cover. That was a good one.
What's the next question?
The next question is, what advice do you have for people that run away from simple problems? Paying bills on time, getting your tags renewed, simple bullshit that causes problems down the road but seems easier to just ignore in the present.
Burn down the DMV and break the taxman with your hands. Simply
So
put,
basically just destroy the system that is putting up barriers for your progress.
Bane doesn't pay water bills. Bane destroys water mains.
Bane, have you ever met Tyler Durden?
He's not real.
Oh, I'm
He's
so
just
sorry.
Edward Norton. He's a fictional character.
Wait, have you ever met Edward Norton? He's from Columbia, Maryland.
He's a real dick. Why do you think they didn't bring him back to play the Hulk?
Oh.
It's just him and Terrence Howard. They're huge douchebags.
They should form their own Marvel super team.
It'd be called Bane isn't great with names. He's only good with destruction.
You don't need to name something that you're destroying.
Exactly, you don't.
That is true. It no longer exists.
We'll call it Baby Dick and that annoying guy from Colombia. Terrence Howard is a tiny penis.
Is that known?
Google it.
I was gonna say that's exclusive.
Bane is knowledgeable on many things, and one of them is celebrity peens.
Very good. How do you sort those, alphabetically or by blood count?
It's the blood. Always blood here.
All right, our next question is, any advice for how to start your day on the right foot if you are not a morning person?
I wear the sleep mask. I didn't see the sun until I was a man and hurt my eyes. So now I just wear a little sleep mask to go over my other mask.
It's
weighted.
It's weighted.
It's weighted, and it has Sailor Moon on it.
Oh, Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Does it stylistically match your face mask?
Of course.
Bane,
Bane always matches.
Bane, earlier you said that you were, I feel like before the show, when we had you in the green room or whatever, however we're going to describe, like, the Zoom stuff, you said you were a fan of anime. What's your favorite anime?
Bane loves Dragon Ball. It's a simple tale, and Goku is a simple man who only wants destruction. Also, I like to wear those sweet airbrushed shirts from the early 2000s with Vegeta on them when I go out on the town.
I would have pegged you as a Piccolo man.
No, Piccolo's a bit of a bitch. And he's useless in the later seasons.
Yeah, they all are.
Oh my god.
Okay, so wear an eye mask is the bit of advice, and the
Wear an eye mask, and also, you know what? This bad boy just plugs right into a CPAP.
it sure does. Is it one of those cleaning CPAPs, the one that like Shatner endorses?
Oh, William Shatner knows what he did.
He didn't do that.
Wait, what did he do?
Yeah, you have to ask him, never know.
You know, maybe he murdered his wife. Or no.
Oh, he might have.
Sure.
Bane hates many things, and two of them are the Batman and the Tech War series.
Oh, those are fighting words, man.
Tech War fucking sucks.
I have the first 3 Tech War books in hardcover because I have a problem.
Apparently, you have a bunch of them.
At least 3.
Levy and Bane, that's another topic for another day because we got one more advice question, and that is from a listener who's looking to get a companion. What should my next pet be?
Bane loves cats. They're independent, and they'll leave you alone when you're plotting. And also, you can't accidentally break the backs. They've got a lot of bones.
You would think that like cats would always be like crawling all over like your blueprints or your secret plans or stuff. No, you think cats seem to stay away? They're not like always trying to sit on your keyboards and shit.
They do, but again, Bane has many keyboards. Also, sometimes I just like to video call Batman and say, "Hey, I've got your girlfriend," and I hold up the cat.
Oh, you zany prankster.
Bane loves pranks and murder.
Do you have
Borat?
Do you have Batman's phone number?
I have his Instagram.
Oh,
And I follow him. It's a lot of pictures of Robin. It disturbs me.
Does he follow back? Is Batman
No.
good for a follow back? No.
He isn't. He only follows Bruce Wayne.
Oh,
That's
It's
weird.
a little weird, and part
That's
of me
weird.
thinks a little gay.
Or do
Not
they
in the
know?
pejorative sense, but I wonder.
Do they know each other?
I have no idea. They do have similar chins, though. Very chiseled.
Oh.
all right, Bane. So if you could give us some final words, a la Jerry Springer, before we call this advice segment adieu.
Why are you dating a midget that's in the Klan? That's a Jerry Springer episode, right? Bane's with it. Bane's cool. Take care of each other until you have to murder each other. And if you do, burn the bodies. Wah wah wee wah. My wife.
All right, Bane. Thank you very much for Dr. Bane. Thank you very much for joining us. We will have you back on in roughly 4 or 5 months. I don't know. We'll see.
I look forward to it.
We
I'll
will
give
be
you advice for Valentine's Day.
Oh, I love it. Or even holidays. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway.
Get a fondue. Then she'll fondue you.
Okay. We will be right back with the rest of the show, which includes shut-ups and another segment or two. We'll see. All right, we are back. While we were off mic, Bryan Preston told us that he was in a hit movie with one Channing Tatum. The entitled that movie is Bryan, take it away.
Step up. Yeah, no. So I used to do background extra work when I was in college and shit. Second time. And yeah, the year of our Lord, like 2004 or some shit, I was background extra in a movie called Music High that eventually became Step Up. And if you watch the movie, the part where like the judge is like, I am sentencing you to go to fucking the school for the arts to like clean their bathrooms and shit. I stand up and I walk behind Channing Tatum. So you can see like a very young, slender, boyish me in just a Guns N' Roses t-shirt and an overcoat. A mild fro. Just walking behind Channing Tatum. We had just the most boring conversations in between takes and shit on that movie. Very dull.
Awesome. So what you're saying is you can get us Channing Tatum for this podcast.
Obviously.
Okay.
Do you think if you were to meet Channing Tatum today and say, "Hey, bro, this is who I am," do you think he'd remember that?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I was also in a student film with the guy from Drunk History, and I went to a Drunk History tape, and he had no idea who I was, so no.
Oh, Derek Waters.
Yeah, actually, yeah, my friend Steve, when we were, like, in high school, yeah, he was the lead in his, like, senior project movie, and, yep. He did remember, though, local morning exercise. I remember, like, workout with Andre. They used to be on, like, WBAL, like, 5:30 in the morning on Saturdays in the late 90s. Anyway, we all know that guy. It's a very long story. I'm done.
All right, so what we're going to do before we get to the end of the show is a little idea that we kicked around on a previous visit of Bryan Preston's. It was supposed to be a product of CTB Presents one-off, a joke, if you will, but it is now time for Lost in the Sauce, and this is where I insert the sound from Lost. This is the podcast which we dissect episodes of Lost and spin off on tangents about Lost and what a disappointment it was eventually.
But we're only going to talk about Lost.
We will not be doing the alternative show, the Lost is the Boss. So,
Here's the all right. Sawyer's obviously the Angela.
Okay. All right.
And Jack is Mona.
This is important. I think this is the very first thing.
The pilot episode of Lost in the Sauce. Brian,
No, and I think
what are you trying to talk over me for?
Oh, because I think Bryan Preston is correct. Is that I think the very first topic we should have is what are the analogs from Lost to Who's the Boss? Who is who? So if Sawyer is the Angela, who is the Mona?
Oh, okay. So here's how it breaks down, right?
Shannon.
Please.
All right. So Jack is obviously going to be Tony because he's the one who's there. He's a new arrival at the island that he is supposed to be upon, and he's obviously the one there doing the work. And then Mona is probably Jacob, and then as the matriarch of it all, and then just the controller of that. Then of course, I'm kidding, dude. I did not really think this out at all.
Oh, okay.
Well, I had thought this out,
I think
honestly.
the Mona is Hurley.
Okay.
All right, well, go, Evan.
I rewatched the pilot episode, 2 parts of the Lost season premiere, which I'm assuming. Well, Bryan Preston, you've watched all of Lost throughout COVID, so it's all fresh in your mind, and I'm assuming between Levy and Casey, you guys at least remember most of the details of the show.
Burned in my brain, bro.
Fair enough. Couple of things I noticed on this premiere episode, 2-parter. Lost sets up a lot of tropes in and of itself. There are 3 things that happen in most episodes of Lost. We discover somebody's dirty secret. Something weird happens. And what's the 3rd thing? Someone dies.
Oh, yeah. Usually, yes.
So the premise of the pilot episode is, of course, the plane crashes. The engine that is not connected to any power source is spinning wildly for some reason. It sucks in 1 man, so there's a body count of 2 or 3, perhaps 3, on the premiere episode. The engine explodes. There's a wing part that falls over. Then the whole jet explodes somehow, but it is intact after the fact anyway. Then they go to the cockpit. Then they find a radio. Then they walk up a mountain. And then they play with the radio. Those are the events of the first episode of Lost.
Yep.
You forget that there is a character played by Greg Grunberg. He's like the pilot or something.
He's from the show Heroes.
Yep.
And
like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And he's also in Star Trek Beyond. It's Greg Grunberg. He's like in lots of stuff.
Yeah, he's the soon-to-be deceased pilot that is killed by the smoke monster that is not introduced as the smoke monster because I think at that time they hadn't really figured out what it was yet.
It was just a noise, wasn't it?
Yeah, you don't see shit.
No, you don't see shit. You see trees swaying around and dinosaur noises. And
well, people were like, "Is it a T-Rex? That was on the island?" And it's like, it's a cloud.
Yeah, because at a certain point, a polar bear shows up, and it's what is this mystical land? Oy.
Well, we shouldn't talk about the polar bear. That hasn't happened yet. Or does that happen in the first episode?
It does. It's in the premiere.
Oh.
When there's a scene where Syed and Sawyer are in a fist fight because Sawyer is introduced as a bona fide racist.
Yep.
Just straight up racist because he thinks Syed is a terrorist who blew up the plane.
Yeah.
Turns out he had pocketed a gun that he found on a U.S. Marshal's body. Dirty secret number 2. There are 2 dirty secrets that are revealed in the pilot episode. Number 1, Charlie's on H.
Yep.
Number 2, Kate is on the run or been arrested. And the marshal that had arrested her has been impaled with shrapnel. And so she wants this guy to die badly. There is a drinking game associated with this episode. That drinking game is anytime, in fact, in the series, anytime Jack mentions the fact that he's a doctor.
Did you make this up, or is this
I just made it
common internet? Okay.
Because he did it like 80 million times. And also, anytime Jack unnecessarily tries to take charge for no apparent reason, you chug.
You get pretty drunk.
I know. That's the point. Lost.
That is
You know
true.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, also, just Jack starts yelling. That should be another one.
Just starts yelling.
Yeah, whenever Jack just like when he's having a conversation, he just starts being like, "You got ya," and he just starts doing his Jack yells about shit because he does that all the time too.
There's also a 4th thing that I forgot that most episodes of Lost will do. Introduce a backstory to something totally trivial. A couple of backstories that I was reminded of. Number 1, the bottle of vodka has a backstory, for fuck's sake. Because they do the flashback to the plane, Jack's getting his drink from the stewardess, the flight attendant. And he's like, well, the drink wasn't very strong. So she gives him another airline bottle of vodka, which winds up saving his life. Whoa, it's all connected. Also, it's the first time that you see Jack shirtless within the first few minutes of the show. And you're reminded of Jack's bad tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Also, for some reason, has a backstory.
It's a whole episode with Bai Lin.
I would say Bailing was in it.
Actually, that was interesting. That was the episode. They're like, okay, we're gonna just not. We're done doing backstories. That actually was the episode. They're like, we're done doing those. We're never again. We've run out of ideas for flashbacks.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember that 20 minutes when Bailing was like famous?
Yeah.
I saw Crank 2 in theaters, of course.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I didn't really, but yeah, I mean that was around the same time.
I at least saw Crank 1, and I fucking loved it.
I mean, I've seen both Cranks. I'm a bit of a Crankaholic.
Also, the numbers partially, or at least introduced in this episode, because it's 48 hours. 48 something, 16 hours after the flight had crashed, something to do with 48, both delivered by the pilot, and then the smoke monster kills the pilot for some reason. We don't know why. I don't think it's ever explained. None of the kills are really ever explained, explicitly or implicitly. Thoughts on this?
The numbers don't mean anything. Like that was
They
one
really
of the biggest letdowns. You think that they're important, and they're not.
Yeah, it's just a Fibonacci.
It's another conceit of the show that, like, I really think Lindelof or whatever his name is and J.J. Abrams really thought that they had something going, but they thought of the concepts before they fleshed out the ideas, and the rest of the show just falls apart slowly on itself.
But that's a big J.J. Abrams thing. He only likes mysteries. He doesn't like solving them.
Right.
Also, yeah, because I don't think they really I think they had like an ending and conclusion and show thought of originally, but I don't think they thought the show was going to go on for as long as it did. I don't think they really had 6 seasons. They obviously didn't have 6 seasons worth of shit. I think they had maybe 1 or 2 seasons worth idea, and then there's people love this. This is the #1 show on TV and shit. So we gotta stretch it the fuck out. And then, because I think the conclusion of it would be satisfying if the show wasn't so goddamn long and you'd learn about a bunch of ancillary, fundamentally meaningless. Because the Darwin issue, all that shit you see in none of it actually has anything to do with it. It's a story about a cloud. Anyway.
Right. Yeah. When the show is at the end of the day, it's a story about a cloud and a magical quirk.
Yep. And a waterfall. It's a cloud and a waterfall. That's
the hatch is meaningless. All of it's meaningless.
Yep.
Completely crap. I also completely forgot about the transmission with the French voice, and you're like, ooh, what's this French voice? Aye. And then they eventually, it's just oh, it's some lady.
Yeah, and they go through all that shit, but you know what? They also just, they all get killed.
Yeah, right.
Everyone gets killed, though. It doesn't matter.
Everybody dies.
Literally.
On Lost. That's how the show ends.
Does anybody have any other recollections of the pilot episode that I don't know.
Interesting fun fact is originally that it was like Jack was gonna die on the pilot, and they wanted to get Michael Keaton to play Jack.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was like one of the original like hypothetical plans for the show. Was
I did not watch the show until it was on DVD.
Mm.
The first season was on DVD, and I caught up over the summer.
same.
I think
that's how a lot of people got there.
I caught up on like Comcast DVR after the first season was done, and then I caught up. But I watched most of it live. What I did forget was that the majority of the cast that makes it through all 6 seasons is on that first episode.
Yep.
With the exception of the 2 characters, Shannon and whatever the brother's name is.
Boone.
And I forgot what the fuck happened to them. Like,
They're half
They die.
siblings and they fuck.
they just die, right?
By marriage.
Right. And then,
Oh, it's by marriage.
Yeah, not biologically related.
Oh,
I see. but there were
lame.
at least several characters that die for no apparent reason, but in real life it was because they got into trouble, which I think we were discussing before the show.
Michelle
That was like
Rodriguez.
season 3, right? That was like season 3.
It was after it was like they died at the end of season 2.
Yeah, because
And Libby.
this is where the show unnecessarily gives everyone a backstory, but also B tries to sort of imply that there's some significance to what they're doing, and it just isn't true, especially when they kill them immediately after a certain period of time. And I realize I just lagged out on you guys, but I got the recording, so just not.
I heard all of it.
Oh, good. My video was kind of stuttering.
And Boone dies because he's in a plane and it falls out of a tree.
Okay.
And it's Echo's brother's plane, and it's full of heroin.
Right. And Charlie needs it. But yeah, didn't the guy who played Echo, didn't he also get X'd out of the show because
So finds out about the plane. Charlie grabs one of the statues full of heroin. Well, because they're all the Virgin Mary statues that are full of heroin and shit. And the thing is, like, he takes it back to camp. Fucking Claire I watched the whole show. So Claire sees it, right? And she's like, what's with the statue? And then he's all like, oh, it's because I love Jesus or whatever. And then John Locke sees it. He already saw the plane. And then he's like, Claire, those statues are full of heroin. And he smashes it. And then, like, everyone's like, get the fuck out of here, Charlie. Charlie becomes kind of evil. Then in season 3, everyone just forgets about it. He goes back to normal. Yeah. They did they'll start some shit and abandon it.
yeah,
So
so
this was after
Great show.
The Hobbit, right? Like,
This is after Lord of the Rings. Yeah. This is post
Oh,
Lord
yeah.
of the Rings.
sorry, Lord of the Rings. So that's kind of like, I feel like he's a little big of a name. I remember him being kind of a big name for that show at the time.
You all, everybody. You all, everybody.
it was very enjoyable seeing the Jurassic Park Valley several times, acting like it was a different place every time they walked through that area. There was some mountain climbing. Everyone was doing a mountain climb at one point to try to get the radio to work by going up to higher ground. This is what's interesting to me is there's far less commentary to be had about this 2-part pilot episode than our wildly successful Quantum Leap podcast, where we managed to squeeze 30 minutes out of 2 hour-long episodes with lots of commentary.
Yeah, nothing really, because Lost is so serialized. It's
Right.
not quite 24, but there are certain elements where, like, it is real time, and that real time stretches, like, 45 minutes over 2 episodes. And it's like, they're just talking a lot about the things that they should or should not be doing. And then all of a sudden it's the past, and then it's back, and they're still talking about it.
Ooh, here's a question. So if someone were a huge enough nerd and like really studied the show and took metrics, how much time actually passes between crash of the flight to like the events of the end of the show? Well, I mean, I know that when they finally get rescued, it's been 3 months or something like that, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's...
Or 45 days or something? 48 days? What makes...
Well, the
Yeah.
first time they get rescued and shit, yeah, it's like perfect. But then there's like, okay, so the Oceanic 6, which is like, Jesus Christ, like 6 of them. Doesn't fucking matter, I'm not getting the whole thing. But anyway, 6 of them make it back to like the real world, or, the regular world and shit. And then they're there for like 2 years or something. And like they're all back in like civilization for like 2 to 3 years, and then they go back to the island, and then they're like back on the island for like a week or so. So like a couple of weeks or some shit. I don't fucking know how long they're like back there. But like the other events move pretty quickly. So probably like 2004 to like 2007.
Okay.
This show's so fucking dumb.
What, Brian? I thought you said it was the greatest show on earth.
It is, but it doesn't mean it's not dumb.
I thought I was the Brian that hated it.
Barnum and Bailey circus of shows. Again, I keep forgetting, but what was the spin-off show that was about another flight that goes missing that aired like simultaneously as Lost?
The Lone Gunman.
No. And I think it even premiered after Lost on like
there was like another show with a fucking air flight. Like I think it was only for like one season.
Is it the 4400 or something?
Something to that effect, yes.
But that no. But,
There's a show called Manifest. I think that was about.
But that's
That's
from
like
now.
Decades later, yeah.
Yeah, Manifest is on now.
No,
Is
that's
it
a different
still?
one. That's a different one.
No, there were like a bunch of shows like Threshold and
No idea what that is.
and like Invasion or something.
I'm pretty sure you made that up.
The
No.
Langoliers.
Okay, I remember that from when I was a kid.
Stephen King's The Tommy Knockers.
I was gonna say, speaking of Quantum Leap, the old Al is in that movie.
Dean Stockwell.
Yeah.
Oscar winner.
All right, this has been the first episode of Lost in the Sauce. Guys, we did it.
Yeah,
did.
it was good.
All right, that's the end of the show.
Awesome.
We are now going to get a little angry, Casey. Now it's time to make the sound effect. We're gonna get venti.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a little pissed off. Oh, that was turned down. Great, awesome. Let me repeat that. We're gonna get a little pissed off. Time to go ready to tell everyone to shut up. Oop, wrong song. I love Trick Daddy. This is the end of the show in which we give the opposite of mad props, aka shut-ups, to persons, places, and things that are lowering our quality of life and improving it. Casey, we've got one or two from the fam zone.
We got one.
We got one.
It's for listener Liz says, "Shut up, the trash bag's ripping when you go to take the trash out. There
Problem
goes
we all
my last
have.
straw."
That's for real. That's a real one. Yep. Casey, do you have any personal shout-outs?
I mean, I don't know what I could say that hasn't already been said about 2020, but shut up to all the inconsistency of just general life, and yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Brian Levy.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Do you have any
Hey.
shout-outs?
I do. I would like to say, I don't. Things have been pretty okay. I've just been really trying to just stay in the moment and live my life. Having a great time.
Shut up to you lying.
Thanks.
My shout up is to when my succulents just don't grow.
Okay. I don't know which of ours was worse and more awkward. I think it might have been mine, but
Mine was deliberately awkward. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know, man. Shut up to hangovers as you get older. It gets worse. It gets harder. Far more difficult. Back-to-back football games. Like Sunday was, the kickoff. Go Ravens. That was great. Got pretty much trashed. And then Monday night was Monday Night Football. Did some more drinking. 2 days later, I still wasn't feeling good.
That's why you're still out of beer.
Kind of. Bryan Preston, you got any shut-ups?
I do, yes. Shout out to the release of the PlayStation 5 pre-order. It's a gosh darn mess. I tried, you know what? I had one in my cart at 9:01 p.m. tonight trying to get one. And before I could actually enter my credit card information, they were already sold out. So and also, yeah, because people are going to be selling them on, actually people are already selling them on eBay for like, the pre-order for like $1,200. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, fuck that noise. So yeah, that's my shut up.
Shut up to price gouging in general. All right, that has been shut ups. All right, guys. This has been episode 330 of the CTB show. Bryan Preston, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me as always.
Drop us your plugs, please.
Okay, as always, you can catch me Tuesday nights on the internet for Laugh-Finder, or just go to just look up Laugh-Finder and then you can find me there. And then also do Laugh-Finder game night on Wednesdays, and Monday nights Twitch TV. Just go to twitch.tv/BryanPreston1. Just follow that. I do Absolute Terror. It's a show I do on Monday nights. I play horror games after doing some what have yous. So yeah, it's a fun time. People enjoy it, and yeah, just other shows on the internet and in real life and stuff. All right.
Delightful. And a belated thank you to Bane for showing up and giving us some very solid life advice. Anybody else want to give us any final thoughts? Casey?
Bane was very professional. Better advice for Bryan.
Thank you, Casey. Thanks. Kick me while I'm down.
Bryan, any final thoughts?
I watched Bill and Ted again the other day. Definitely
first one?
cried at the end. The third one. Face
gotcha.
the Music. Definitely cried at the end. Like full on tears.
Feel good movie of the 2020s.
I love it. It's so good.
All right. Thank you very much for being a friend. Thank you very much for being a fan. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.